Hey guys, I'm Douglas Johnson from Nashville, Tennessee, and this is part of a collaborative for the Classic Castle Collaborative, and we've got 4 people total that contributed to this 30-foot by 4-foot layout.
So this is quite the massive layout here going all the way down.
It sure is, and I really think that we did a great job with the 4 people doing it in sections and really coordinating. I mean, we've got some similar trees, our landscape is pretty similar, some rock work, and everything looks great. Even the castles do coordinate. I mean, we've got all the crosses on the windows, and that actually turned out great. We did not plan that. It was my idea to light up all the water, and Mark Erickson and I teamed up and did that. My section is from this side of the boats over here to the end of the table with the village.
Okay, great. So then if you want to start here and kind of take us through your section and kind of point out some of your favorite buildings and details along the way.
Yeah, I tell you, I love this bar right here, and it is detailed inside with some musicians, and there's guys drunk fighting in there and some dancers. I've got a wagon shop. There's the post office, an arrow shop. We've got potions and spells, the fabric shop. We've got a little hotel inn, another bar, and then of course our town hall for my Black Falcon village.
That town hall is such a great design as well. The way you kind of almost looks like you took several of the smaller buildings and kind of put it together to make one big, really impressive building.
Yeah, I like it because I used the medium blue on the second floor, the bright light blue on the third floor, and then going back to the medium blue on the fourth floor. And that really helps add contrast, helps bring your eye into it, especially with the orange colored trees. It really helps it pop like that. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, we've got some market area over here, and of course, we got the gallows with the guillotine.
Somebody's having a bad day there.
Well, we can't have pirates in here with our castle, so we got to get rid of them.
And then here appears to be the most impressive building of this section.
Yeah, I love my Black Falcon castle. Of course, I hear that everybody builds a Black Falcon castle. This has honestly got between 27 and 28,000 pieces in it. It is double walled on the inside with solid bricks, and each floor does come off. There's only one room that's detailed right now, is the master bedroom. I just haven't had time to go back and detail all of it. But it was so much fun doing that texture work, and when I set out to do it, I said, if I'm going to do a castle, I got to do it like this, and I know it's going to look great. And I think it did. It turned out fantastic in my mind.
No, it really did. And so if you can give some more detail on that, kind of some of the pieces you used there and how that came together, the wall design there.
Yeah, so I started with like 7,000 metallic 1x1 rounds, and of course 7,000 is not nearly enough, so I ordered another 5,000 and then another 2,000. But mixing with the light gray, the light blue, the bright light blue to help with the Black Falcon colors, keep it blue, I think that helped pull in keeping it with the same faction. And then of course with the brackets, I was able to do some snot work, and then on the inner wall of the stone work, there's brackets on that pushing up against the inner wall. So when you push against the texture wall, it's not going to go anywhere. And like I said, every floor will come off.
Yeah.
The gate does work. The drawbridge does work.
I think it's definitely a formidable defense here for the rest of the town. And what is the faction, or what theme is the soldiers coming out from there?
Yeah, so those are my original Dragon Knights. I think in the story of Lego, they had the Dragon Knights as a friend to the Black Falcons. And I didn't have enough Black Falcon soldiers to arm them, but I already had my Dragon Knights, and I said, I'm going to pair them up and team them together, and they're going to come out and make their way to the end of the table, to the end of the battle. Probably one of my favorite scenes, of course, is the Vineyard, but then coming out from the Vineyard, you've got these forest creatures that have snuck through and stolen some wine, and they're getting a little intoxicated in the wheat field there.
I like how you did the path that they took into the wheat field, the trampled.
Yeah, of course. And, they're sitting down, so this guy over here that's cutting the wheat, he's not going to see him right now until he gets over there, and then they're going to scramble. Oh, no, someone's coming, And so we've done a lot of work with the forestmen in here. The pumpkin guys in the back, they're stealing pumpkins. Up here, they're stealing chickens. Just a lot of just different work with the forestmen creatures. We wanted to bring those in and have fun with them.
And then here's some great movement you've incorporated in there. How did you get that to work?
Yeah, that is, of course, my windmill. I use the large sail blades for the blades from the boats. And, of course, it's geared in there, but that was really, really fun to build. And I have a lot of people enjoy that, say that that's their favorite out of the whole thing. The mountain and the waterfall, I believe you guys have seen before. Last year and even this year, I have the rock creature motorized where it does come out, but I didn't have time to put the motor on it this show. And all of the water does light up. Unfortunately, they just did not give me enough power outlets at this show, so I can't plug it all in.
There's a lot of lighting in here, though, which really makes the build pop, I think, especially with the movement of the water.
Yeah, there sure is. And probably one of my last favorite buildings is actually the church ruins. I've got the Dragon Knight stained glass window in the back, and I wish I had it lit up, but that was one layout I did for the Classic Castle online contest. Results still pending, but I think I did a pretty good job with the sunken floor and having the knights kind of with the white flag surrendering a little bit.
Yeah, I love to see ruined buildings with Lego because it's not as easy as you think. You think you could just kind of knock pieces down, but really you got to make it. You don't want weird patterns in there. You want to make it look natural, which isn't always easy with the rectangular bricks.
Yeah, and honestly, as I started building that, I was like, this looks too much like a square building, or it looks too good. I need to destruct it more. And you're right, that making ruins is actually harder than people think it is.
I love the little throwback to the Islanders there, the canoe coming down.
Yeah, I saw those in my box this weekend. I was like, where can I put these? Oh, yeah, they're going to, panic going down the waterfall there. So,
yeah, well, that is great. I think your section turned out really awesome. I appreciate you taking us through that there.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for
coming
and interviewing me.
And then we'll move on to Mark Erickson, who we have right here. So we'll bring you in, and you can start with, I guess, the ships in the water here is kind of the start of your section.
Yes, this is the beginning of the middle section, which is my section. I got the fleet here covering the river that, separates me and Douglas. Then over here it goes all the way towards Robert's Castle.
Yeah, great. So if you just want to start with kind of details of the ships and some of the techniques you use there and take us through.
Yeah, so the ships are actually just the basic Lego boat hulls. I managed to get a couple of them because I work at a Lego retail store you did a video for a while back. And so I got those recently and managed to scrape together enough brown parts to decorate them as medieval cogs, which are ships that soldiers back then used to fight. You got a Viking ship here that sailed into the wrong inlet, and the Lion Knights are all about to chase him out of here, so, yep.
I like it. And then you've got kind of the island keep there in the main castle.
Exactly. The main idea for this castle was to have the keep be super secure, and the best way I thought to do that would be 2 drawbridges, 2 different moats. So you have the first, which is like the city section, and then the second leads up to the keep, which is on a rock over the ocean, separate from the already strong castle, so double strong.
And talk about some of the details in here. I love the stained glass pieces and then the kind of houses in there as well.
Yes, so the second most important thing for the castle for me was to have an interesting layout. So I have a lower section of the city down below, and then above that there's a little a plateau of sorts. And so the Tudor buildings below are all in the lower section, and the very top is the church. And back in medieval society, the church was the highest part of the society. So the church is at the very top, kind of crowning the entire city, as it were. So yeah.
There you go. And then we move kind of away from the castle into more of the countryside sort of here.
Yes, so we were trying to make a nice flat scene compared to our last year's, which is a huge mountain and an extreme challenge to move. So we just have a nice flat countryside, easy to transport and set up. Well, for the most part, all those plants took a very long time to set up this convention. But yeah, we have some houses, some agriculture, some sheep, lots of foresters hidden throughout the scene, a few knights, a few cows, and occasionally you can spot a dragon or two if you look very carefully, or a dragon, as I've heard.
Yes. So talk about some of the tree techniques as well, because there's all different ways and the different colored leaves and stuff you have in here.
Yes, well, some of the leaves are actually alt bricks, so that they have the unique colors and they're actually a little bit stronger clutch power, so those actually help with some of the unique shapes we've got going on here. Then we have like different types of trees. We have the palm leaves used for the pine trees, which is something I've been doing for a while. It looks pretty nice, and it gives me an excuse to use the palm leaves in an otherwise northern climate, so yep. And then we tried to just build all the trees on the spot, which was a bad idea in retrospect, but they look nice because they're fragile and they wouldn't survive the trip. So
Exactly. And then you've got this keep here, which the first thing I noticed there is the really cool chrome, it's like silver chrome helmets on the soldiers.
Yes, absolutely. That castle was built by my brother Steven. So it's very fancy and very elegant. And the chrome helmets are actually, they're Lego helmets, but they've been painted by a company in Poland. So they're very high quality. They're like Lego has done similar products in the past for special minifigures and whatnot, but these are just generic helmets, but they've been chromed. So that's the story behind those.
And then here's a few forest men getting attacked, kind of fighting for their life down here.
Yeah, they've just encountered one of Steven's dragons. We have several throughout the scene, and so they're not sure whether they're about to be eaten or find a friend, so we're kind of left it at that.
And then you got Castle Grayskull here. Was that one of your builds as well?
Yes, and that was actually a combination build with me and my brother. He did the front part, the nicer part with the skull, and I kind of finished the back because he wasn't able to do it. So, but it's based off of the old He-Man TV series from the 80s, but we never saw it, but we thought it was a very interesting Lego build. So,
yeah, great source material then. And it looks like we've gotten to the beginning of the large army here. And is this start of a new section?
Yep, this is actually, from this line over is going to be Robert's section over here, but I had a whole bunch of medieval knights to use, so I didn't quite have enough room in my scene, so they've all decided to try and take Robert's castle out. So.
They're on the offensive. Very cool. Then we'll move down to Robert here, and if you want to take us through your section, talk about what you've got.
Yeah, so I just got a big castle. Got a church here that I built yesterday, gatehouse. Mark's attempting to storm the castle. He is going to fail because you can't beat the crown. You got to respect the crown. If you've ever seen Star Wars, I've got the high ground, so there's not a chance he can make it through.
There you go. So let's start off with the church then. I know that it was a real recent build for you. What are some of the techniques you used there?
Like, I love everything Gothic style, high arches, anything vaulted, flying buttresses, all that kind of stuff is great for me. I just really enjoy it for some weird reason. I got aqua in there. It's a pretty rare color. I like how it turned out with the white.
Yeah, you don't see that color used real often.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty unique, but definitely underestimated how long it would take me to build it because I spent all day doing it. But.
And then you've got kind of the gatehouse here leading into the castle.
Yeah. It's supposed to deter the guys, although I put the drawbridge on the wrong way. So once they take the gatehouse, they can just lower the drawbridge. Didn't think that one through, but...
A little bit of design malfunction.
Yeah, hopefully they can hold off the gatehouse. Yeah.
There you go, and a little bit of wizardry in here.
Yeah, I decided to add that this morning. It looks like he's burning the bear. I was going for summoning, but I guess burning would work too. But yeah.
And then the castle itself, where did you kind of start from on this build?
Yeah, all my castles, I just kind of start off with the base plate and just see where it goes from there. Definitely made the front first. I've been working on it since about October. Really the last 3 weeks I finished it. My favorite part about it is the stone statues up there.
What's the structure like on the inside of the castle there?
Mostly just like random colorful bricks, just the structural support. One of these days I'll build a castle with an interior, but we ain't got the time for that.
No, that's very time and piece intensive to do that.
Yeah, for sure. And then Steven lent me a dragon to put over there above the church-looking part. So
because those just make everything better.
Yeah, you got to have a dragon. Just pop a dragon on a castle, put one on Grayskull. That makes the scene. Yeah. Yeah.
So when you guys arrived at the show, was this the first time that the whole thing had all been put together, all your sections?
Yeah, I actually screwed up the road real bad and had to fix it yesterday. Yeah. So I'm pleased with how it looks. Pleased with how it turned out. It's pretty good for 4 dudes never coming in contact till the day of. I got here late because I had to work, but yeah, I'm pleased with the scene. Looks good.
Yeah.
Mark and Steven are awesome. Douglas is amazing contributor. It's just been a good scene, good fun.
Yeah, all of the sections turned out great, but then you put it all together like this, and it's just amazing. I think you said it was 30 feet long worth of castle builds here and towns and everything. So that's really impressive. I appreciate you chatting with me. Thank you.